Uh-oh. It's time. This is gonna be that video fresh off the press. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this in the last day or so. This is gonna be the everything must go video. So for those of you that are unaware, there is a particular augment. So like, you know, you can look at the augments, right? And it's like, you know, look at all these that get top 4s, right? All the hero augments, you know, too healthy. Boiling point, because now Lux is broken. Lux is so broken that they had to remove double trouble because that was a problem, right? But you know, you look through them, you sift through it, it's like, yeah, these are good top 4s, but you know, the win percentage is pretty low. What's a good win percentage one? Fortune Crest, obviously. Boiling point, obviously. What's this? Everything must go. Oh, and what? How do you win? Oh, it's a bunch of 4 costs. Yeah, that's the new tech. If you want to see some crazy shit and you haven't seen this before, brace yourself, because this isn't gonna be a nutty ride. this one's gonna be a gigatuber. This one's gonna be an entertaining video, right? I'm a bit slow because I was trying to grind a little bit last night to rank up. So you know, maybe I think my talking speed's a little bit slower than normally because I'm a little bit more relaxed, having not slept. But yeah, check this out. Ready? This is me just thinking, because I'm thinking like, do I take Heavenly Crest? Everything must go. So I saw the tech, right? I saw it kind of like roughly like a couple hours before, because like I was studying up, because I haven't played in a week. Basically, this is like, I think this is one of my first games back. I guess I played a couple. What is this, like 5 or 6, right? But I studied up on the traits, I studied up on the augments, I did what I usually do. I look at the stats to try and see like, hey, what's the new tech, what's going on, and then see like how people are playing, and then watch them soju, because I like watching soju. But yeah, basically, everything must go is an augment. It's gold tier, and it makes all your units buy and sell for 0 gold. So I actually tried this in PBE. I don't think it became a YouTube video because I went bought 4 with it, and I usually don't post those ones. But basically, the way that this works is all your units buy and sell for 0. So you cannot, like, even on a carousel, like if you pick up a unit at any point in the game, it will sell for 0. And they'll also buy for 0, and it doesn't matter if you combine them, it doesn't matter whatever, right? So as you can see here in the shop, everything is listed as $0. So I think initially, as a design standpoint, it's meant to be like a little bit of like a riskier, econ-y kind of trait, something that helps you with like a reroll comp, for example, that you can just like, you know, all your gold can be invested in either leveling or the reroll, and you don't have to invest the gold in the buying of the units. And that's like similar to like augments. They give you free rerolls, so that you just have to worry about leveling and buying the units, and then you don't have to worry about the reroll, or things that give you EXP for free, like March of Progress, where you, like, you know, it's something to go along the lines of that, where you're either where you're basically saving money on one of the aspects of buying a bunch of units, right? And those are things that usually help with rerolls. That would be the thought when you look at it. Now, when I first looked at it in PBE, the first thing I thought to myself is, oh, you can just buy legendary units, because, like, you know, buying a 1 cost for $0 doesn't really make as much sense as buying a 5 cost for $0, because the biggest problem I have is whenever I go 9, you need to have enough gold not only to reach level 9, but also to buy the 5 cost units, right? That's not the tech either. So the real tech is with the reduced bag sizes of the 4 cost units. You play this like it is built differently. Remember, I made a video on built differently, and I was talking like how you basically try and get to level 8, you preserve as much gold as possible, make sure you can make it to 8 with a bunch of gold, and you just send it on level 8 and you buy every single 4 cost, and that's how you play built diff. That's how you play with Everything Must Go. Instead, you just save so much money that you're basically just going for multiple 3-star 4 costs. That is all you are doing. Now, if you don't hit any of them, you probably don't get a very good top 4. But if you hit a single one of them, which you're very likely to do, you just win out. Now, if you've been playing TFT and you've been playing a little bit, it might sound kind of ludicrous, a little bit crazy for me to say, oh yeah, you just get a 3-star 4 cost. Watch this game. I had done it 3 times within the last, I don't know how many hours. 3 hours. I did it. I got the augment 3 times in the last 3 hours, or 5 hours, I guess. I went first every single time. It's actually very easy. So the main thing you have to consider is that because all of your gold, you don't gain interest from like selling units. So you can't buy units, you can't pick up units on carousel. The only way to accumulate money is via interest, which is basically save up every 10 up until 50, and then you gain an extra gold. And any gold that you spend could severely hurt your economy. So what you really want to do with this augment, what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to make it worked out that this was the sentinel, the wandering sentinel, I forget what it's called, where I have the 3 augments, the 3 spats on the little sentinel dude. That's what this is. It replaced the training dummy now when it's the portal. And I'm just trying to build a strong board. I'm just holding a bunch of units because they're all free, and I'm not spending a dime on rolling or leveling unless I am at a threshold where I am not making econ, right? It is very important to save all the money, right? We want to save HP, we want to save money, because we want to be level 8 with as much gold as possible, and then send it. And you send it so fast that nobody has time to react to what you're doing, and you just buy every unit. That's the plan. And you'll watch it with execution. You'll watch the execution here, and we'll see how it goes, you know. But this one's gonna be a nutty game. Now, mind you, can we have like one patch where there's not some sort of fucked up gimmick in this game? Like, seriously? I really dislike this balance patch. So like, I didn't really like the balance prior to this patch, and then this patch I feel like made the game significantly worse. Not significantly, but it made it worse enough that I basically took a week off. That's why like a lot of these have been VOD review. You know, it's not me like talking through and fumbling through like with the music and the background audio, right? A lot of these I'm listening to like a podcast in the background. I'm playing these like late at night just so I have daily uploads. But I'll get back to streaming and getting into it. I'm hoping that the next patch really deals with some of the issues that I don't like, and if it doesn't, then, you know, we might just give up on TFT a little bit. Like, I'll still do daily content, but I'll give up on like trying to rank up, because right now I'm just not having fun, and it's showing in my gameplay. Because like a lot of the times, like I'll like I'll like rank up to like Emerald 3, then I'll rank back down to Emerald 4, then I'll rank back up to Emerald 3, and it's like I'm not supposed to be in Emerald. Like, I don't mean that in like a I feel like I should be in like at least Diamond, because like just relatives, like, I don't know how to describe it, like based on how I did in the last seasons and stuff. Like, I feel like I have that base level of skill that I should be able to recreate, but I'm just having so little fun. I'm just so tilted and upset all the time because of shit like this too, right? Even when I'm playing it, I'm just annoyed and like sad about it. So I'm not putting as much effort into like actually improving and like learning like the nuanced lines. So I guess I am an Emerald skilled player right now, but I feel like I should be able to put in the work to get above that level, but I don't know, I just don't care. But hopefully they fix the game and then I become really passionate about it. That's what I'm hoping. But for now, we're going to talk about this broken thing. Hopefully this is irrelevant. I think they're going to hot fix it as soon as they can. So, you know, it's technically not bug abusing. It's not a bug, right? There are bugs that people are bug abusing in my games, which is making me really upset. Like, there's a bug with Baboom and Aphelios, which I'm not going to explain, because I don't want people to take this video and start also abusing the bug, but there's some bug over there that you can figure out yourselves. And everybody's doing it. Like every single game that I play, every single time there is a faded player, they're just bug abusing, and it's so annoying. This isn't bug abusing though, so you can use it at your will. Watch this tutorial, go through it, memorize the skills, and just have fun, because this one's a doozy. This one's a crazy one. Alright, so I take reigning gold. Now, there's not much to talk about here. We're kind of just going through the VOD. I could skip through a little bit, but I kind of want to just have the full effect, because I feel like it's like so climatic how everything just dispels itself into chaos in a little bit, so to speak. But basically, I took everything must go. I'm just collecting units. They all cost 0 gold, and I'm just trying to play the strongest board to preserve HP. And I'm not spending a single dime. See, I'm 67 gold. I'm just trying not to spend anything. And for my second augment, I'm not taking a combat. I'm not really worrying about anything, because the game should be a guaranteed win so long as I make it to level 8 with enough gold to hit my units, right? There's really no way around it. Like you're kind of when you take everything must go, like you could probably take everything must go and use it like as it was maybe originally designed and intended for like particular reroll comps, like 3-cost rerolls, to like make it easier to hit those units. But I'm telling you, you just don't. Like my brain was turned off. I'm like, I just need money, I need econ, you know, if there was like prismatic ticket, you know, anything that just like alleviates the money spent buying or rolling the EXP. You should be good to go, right? Basically, the concept is that the bag sizes are reduced. It's very easy to thin out the pool of 4 costs, and nobody can really compete with you, because they're not going to be able to hold as many units as you, because you have all your units are free. So for them, the way you should think about it is that every reroll for me costs 2 gold, right? And if there's a 4 cost, I can just buy it. If someone else has to buy a 4 cost that doesn't cost 0 gold, obviously, then they have to spend $4, right? Or 4 gold. And that is the equivalent of 2 additional rerolls, right? So every 4 cost that they buy and hold is 2 more rerolls. So eventually you run out of money really fast, right? Like 50 gold isn't enough to find and create 3-star 4 costs, but because all of the units are free for me, with everything must go, it's all fair game, right? 50 gold, the units are free. 50 gold means I see 25 shops, and I can just buy every 4 cost I see. And it doesn't sound like that crazy. You're like, okay, yeah, so like you'll have a bunch of 4 costs. The thing is, the 4 costs are very stable, right? The 4 costs aren't good, right? I say it a lot, because like you can't play around the 4 cost really well in the meta. It's like usually you're playing around the 3 cost rerolls, or you are trying to go 9. In this particular case though, it's the same with like built diff. It's like having a bunch of 4 costs. They have good stats, right? Like the frontline units, they are fairly tanky. It's just really like, you know, if you're normally going to 8, you're not gonna have a full board of 4 costs, right? But in this situation, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have a full board of 4 costs, right? So like if I have Annie 2, Nautilus 2, Silas 2, it's like, yeah, my front line's gonna slap. Those are all giga upgraded units. And if my backline is all 4 costs, then together, yes, I'm gonna be very strong. And that's only 2-star, right? The win con is to hit the 3 stars, because that's just the funny part. But you can actually skate by and do pretty well with just the 2-star versions of the 4 cost units, because they're just good in numbers, right? It's just a lot of stats on your board. Now the problem with me right now in this game in particular is I'm not very strong, right? I have 2 non-combat augments, and my board isn't, even though everything was going, I'm buying a bunch of stuff, there's nothing really upgraded. Now, like for example, I have this Yone, I have these 4 Reapers, but it doesn't really matter that much. But the thing is, like, you don't want to roll early. Like sometimes, like, you know, especially if you're like trying to go 9 or trying to go 8, a lot of times you'd partially roll on level 6 or level 7 just to ensure that you preserve enough HP that you're comfortable when you get there and when you have to transition your board, etc., and all of that stuff, right? But in this case, you don't want to spend a single dollar. You want all your dollars to go towards rolling for these 4 costs, which are actually gonna be coming up very soon. So we're 3-5. You know, the reckoning is coming. It's in 2 turns. The reckoning is coming, and you'll see what I mean. But okay, I natural the Yone upgrade. In terms of items, I think just general spread. Thieves Gloves are good here. For me, it's like I don't want to commit to anything. So like with the cape and the belt, right? But I made a Shojin. The reason I made a Shojin, so the thing is with the 4 costs, right? When I say you have to 3-star the 4 costs, it's the ones that people don't play, right? So right now the 4 costs that are usually played are Syndra, right? Everybody plays Syndra because there's Faded. Everybody plays Kaisa because Kaisa is the new like fad that's like really broken. People found out like a way to reliably make her pump out a shit ton of damage, so you know that's played a lot. Kayn, right? When you have Reaper boards, there's a Kayn that's usually playing them, right? That's what I'm trying. I'm just trying to list 4 costs that you probably won't be able to 3-star because other people will have them on their board, right? And that's an important thing to note. Which ones do people usually don't have on their board? Like, unless there's a ghostly player, usually Morgana's pretty open. Lilia in recent history is very open. There's very few times people are like directly playing towards Lilia unless they have a spot for it. And in this lobby, nobody's really playing towards Lilia. Annie is one of those units that I think Annie is broken. I think Annie is so good. Almost every time I have an Annie on my board, I feel so much more stable. She is so tanky. She never fucking dies. As soon as she summons Tibbers. I think it's Tibbers, the name of the giant bear dude, right? But nobody plays Annie, right? So in my head, that's what you have to think. You have to have a little bit of a game plan, right? So it's like, what's the game plan? It's like Lilia, Annie, probably like Nautilus, you know, because usually people aren't playing around Wardens with Nautilus that often. I'm just upgrading a couple things. I go to 8, and now we sit. Also, Lee Sin. Lee Sin isn't usually played that much. Unless there's a duelist player, then they sometimes hold some. I make Guard Breaker just to have a second damage item. I kind of don't want to make Sunfire, but my items kind of work out that, you know, I don't really want to make Even Shroud either. I think that's worse. So we make double Gargoyle, we make Sunfire Cape, and now this is the big turn, and you'll see how crazy it gets. You'll see how crazy the game can get. Obviously, so it goes without saying, I don't know if they're gonna fix it, like the trait. Like I don't know how they would nerf this trait because it just doesn't seem like it works at all. Maybe they make it like a limit, like the first 5 units are free or something like that. The first 5 or the first shop you see, all the units are free, right? With everything must go, maybe that would be it. So you can't reroll. Basically, like the first shop you see each round is all free units. So it's like whatever it is. But then I feel like it just doesn't fit into the game at all. I just take Jeweled Lotus. I just want combat. I'm gonna drop these Reapers. I don't really care what the spats are that I have on my dude. Cause yeah, now we're rolling. We're rolling. What's the thing that they say? No, we're gonna shit right here. You know, am I dating myself for being like really old? Does anybody get that reference? Okay, you know what? It's fine. Even if they don't. I'm just buying a bunch of 4 costs. I found a Syndra. I don't want to roll much below 50 here. Until like, but I am 35 health, so I'll probably have to send it soon. But I'm basically just buying all the 4 costs, and then I'm gonna start scouting and figuring it out. I found this Wukong, so I'll just play around Sage. I have a good dummy where I have Arcanist, Warden, and I found the Wukong for Sage. So in my head, if I'm trying to make a team right here, just to have some sort of synergies, not to be completely degenerate, just to have like some semblance of a board, I'd probably be playing around just 2 Arcanists with like the Syndra, and then the Wukonging for Sage, because Sage will just help everybody. And then what's the other thing? Anyways, this Yona just cleans up. And then I have Heavenly with and Reaper, because Reaper's on the Sentinel. So I can keep the Kha'Zix in just for fun. Right? Just buff the whole board, give them all a little bit of crit chance because they synergize with the jeweled Lotus that I got. So yeah, I switch out this, I found some canes, that's fine, but I'm probably not gonna level up the cane. I'm still rolling kind of slow because I just won that last round, so I feel kind of like, yeah, this is okay. I should put in the Morgana over this dude, that's fine. Everything buys and sells for 0. It's a very awkward feeling if you've never played it before. I suggest everybody tries to learn and practice to figure out how to play this. Because until they get rid of it, this is like the freest win, I think, of anything. It's like, it's so guaranteed, right? So if you look at it now, I have a bunch of 4 costs, but I'm more essentially what I'm doing is I'm thinning the pool out, right? People in the lobby are going to buy 4 costs and they're going to roll for 4 costs and hold 4 costs to play on their board, right? Some boards will have 1 4 cost, some boards will have 2, as well as the multiple copies, right? And that thins out the pool because they reduced the bag sizes in the last set, meaning that there's just very few of each 4 costs. So at one point, you'll just run out and it'll make it a lot easier to hit certain ones as opposed to others. So I think my main targets here are probably Morgana, Lilia, Nautilus, Lee Sin, and Annie. Like, those ones sound like the ones that people usually don't play. Also Silas, but Silas is used a lot on the Kaisa board now, and Galio as well is used on the Kaisa board. So I wouldn't suggest going for those. But you're just trying to 3-star anything that you can. Basically, the power of a 3-star 4 cost is like, it's almost always a win. But the thing is, you could probably keep going. So here I'm getting Ashe, finding another Syndra. And now I want to roll a little bit more aggressively because I am 24 health. I am cutting it kind of close. This is my first time playing. This was my first time playing it. I didn't read up on the augment, so I have like a game plan going into it. As you can see, the units are starting to look a little bit similar, aren't they? Right, we're already at 4 Morganas. I'm not picking up these Kaisas because I know that there's a Kaisa player in the lobby. I think I also eventually find out that there's an Ashe player in the lobby. And I think for sure there's a Syndra player in the lobby. But as you can see, I have, what? 4 Lilias, 4 Ashes, 4 Morganas, right? Now, we are cutting it a little bit close. I wouldn't say this is the most high roll game that I had, but you can see very easily how it's starting to get a little bit crazy. Right, if you look at this bench and you look at my board, I feel like this is where I think most of the lobby would be like, oh, that's alarm bells. There's something going on here. I'm still 40 gold, right? So I'm going to roll. Nautilus 2. Bang. Okay, now I have a bunch of Ashes. I think somebody else was playing Ornn. That's why I'm double checking. See, somebody's playing Kayn. This guy's playing Ashe. Right, I'm checking what kind of Ashe it is. This guy's playing Ornn, so I'm like, oh, what? I can't really go for Ornn. This guy has a Galio, and Galios exist, right? Now, if the lobby was a little bit more punishing, I think this would have backfired. But I think it was just a little bit sloppy of me, like, early on. Because, like, even now that I'm holding, like, these Ashes, right, even though, like, selling them doesn't cost any gold, it's like APM, right? Like, I could have been holding other units that are probably stronger. Or, sorry, not stronger, other units that are, like, possible to 3-star. We're just gonna keep rolling on 8. So this is the main trick, right? I think it's really, you get kind of baited that you think that maybe you want to go 9 and roll on 9. But the thing is, as you can see here, I'm already not stable and I have very low HP, right? I will stabilize, right? Because I'm playing so many upgraded units. Like, my board value is very high and everything on it is like very good. in terms of just pumping out DPS, right? But it's very bait. Like, unless you already hit your a 3-star 4 cost, you pretty much shouldn't ever level, in my opinion, to 9. I think that's the biggest way that you fail out in the strat, right? Because what ends up happening is going 9, you lose like basically like 80 gold of rolls, right? In that 80 gold of rolls, it's like you're not really like the odds are not better. Like 80 gold for like an extra little bit of percentage chance is not worth it. Anyways, I find a way. I finally get rid of this Yone that's just been sitting on my board. But I was probably gonna replace the Yone with like the Ashe. I just never got the chance to. But now it's kind of crazy, right? I'm 2 off Annie. I'm 3 off Lilia. Right? It's getting very dicey. Like if I was scouting in the lobby, I would start sweating. Like this is the moment where it's like, okay, we might be fucked. But I'm only 10 HP. So there is a chance that I whiff and I just miss. But I'm still 50 gold, right? I kind of played this one very, very greedy. Yeah, boom, Annie 3. GG. Shake my hand. The game is fucking over. Might as well FF. This guy, look at the side of the board. This guy hit Yone 3. Guess what? I just hit Annie 3. But I'm rolling very aggressively now. Like I'm basically just rolling, not caring about my econ, just straight to 0. The reason I'm rolling so deep is because whether I want to make sure that if I find a Lilia or a Morgana, that I just swap it out. And then what happens is as soon as you 3-star a unit, you stop seeing copies of that unit. So now that I 3-starred Annie, I will never see another Annie in my shop. And guess what? That makes it easier for me to 3-star another 4 cost because gold is infinite, right? They're all for free. Everything must go. So as soon as you 3-star one, now it just snowballs. It's like, why don't I just 3-star all of them? So 3-star Annie, if you watch the fight, I'll make it more of an effort to commentate the fight next round to show you the relative strength of it. It's unkillable. I already won the lobby. The only way I lose this is if someone else gets a 3-star 4 cost. But guess what? I can hold all of them because I'm the guy with everything must go. So I can just like roll until I find one and hold it because I have infinite money in that regard. But yeah, I think if I was playing this, the other 2 times I played it, I won't go over the other VODs. I just wanted to show this one because it's the first one that I did. I thought it was really interesting and fun. I won't really, I wouldn't go as risky as I was. Like I'm basically 1 life, right? I'm 10 HP. I would definitely roll more aggressively earlier to try and make sure that your board is kind of upgraded, right? Because like, you know, I was playing that Yone forever. I was being very greedy. Like I could have sent it straight to 0 a little bit earlier, and I tried doing that in other games and it worked out a lot better. Like I was a lot higher HP and I was definitely way less stressed. It's also extremely important because as people learn about this tech, which they're already like all uppity in it in my games, you'll notice that like a lot of times, even if you take it, you kind of have to take it because it's like a very broken augment. It's like one of those things like if you pass on it, you're kind of trolling. But a lot of people are starting to get it in the lobbies and they understand the same thing, that it's like, oh, this is like an insta win out. I gotta use it. I gotta take it. And what ends up happening is that now you're contested and now you have to like see, okay, what is that guy going for that I'm not going for? And I played a game where I was like 3-way contested everywhere, everything must go, right? Like 3 different people were playing it and it was miserable because but I still ended up winning. But it was like, oh god, it's like I really gotta roll here and like pay attention to what that person's holding, and then they hit a 3-star, but then I also hit a 3-star, but then it's like who hit more 3-stars, and it's like, what the fuck is this? This isn't real. This is a ranked game. Like, really? But anyways, I found this way because obviously if you're rolling a lot of gold on level 8, you'll eventually hit 5 costs, and you'll eventually hit the particular 5 costs. I forget the exact statistics of it, but it was something around like 50 gold it takes to see a 5 cost that you want, like approximately. Anyways, look at this Annie. Smack, smack. Look, she finished with 100 health. What are they? What are these poor normal ass fucking players gonna do against my Annie? My Annie's her. It's her. They have no chance. The game's over. It was fucking over from the start. What did I do this game legitimately that makes me feel like I played a skillful and great game of TFT? What did I really do here? I spent no gold. I sat until I hit level 8, and then I sent it, and I got a 3-star Annie, and now I win for free. Oh, this argument's so broken. And also, I'm one off Lilia. I'm just trying to decide if I send it now or send it later. But obviously, you have to just like make sure that you econ properly and make sure that you don't die by accident before you finish econing. But yeah, I'm just scouting and making sure somebody doesn't scam me, because even though people don't have, like, you know, they don't buy everything, that everything is free, because they don't have everything must go. It's really important to always be checking, because as you thin out the pool, like, you know, I bought this Annie 3. Now a lot of other people, they won't be able to see as many Annies because they're out of the pool, and with the reduced bag sizes, they might just happen across, you know, happenstance across their own 3-star 4 cost, and then it becomes like a 3-star 4 cost off. Also, I forgot to mention, my way duplicated, so I have Morgana 3 as well. Guess what? We have Morgana 3, Annie 3. Who's next? Nautilus 3? How about Lilia 3? Even in this case, I feel like it's really greedy. Like, this would be a spot where I'm pretty much guaranteed to be to win the game, so I could kind of just greed and go 9. But I feel like that's just for the lull, right? That's just for the teetily. I'm gonna go for a 3-star 5 cost, right? And like try and like get like the giga like joke YouTube video. But I feel like in general it just kind of doesn't really matter to me, right? Because I don't want to like throw the game as much as I want to just guarantee a win. Yeah, so I'm one off Nautilus, I'm one off Lilia, so as soon as Hui duplicates, I'll probably roll to 0 every turn now, because I'm one off of each of them. I want to make sure that I use the Hui to duplicate the one that I don't hit. So I'll probably just donkey roll, meaning that every turn I'll just roll to 0, just to make sure that I hit. And is it a little bit overkill? Of course. I have two 3-star 4 costs. Should I be doing something else with my evening? Probably. Did I guarantee a win? Yes, of course. So I want to make Kane here because there was one Kane player and he started holding some on his bench. So I'm making a Kane because now, unless he has Hui, which I think Hui doesn't grab from the pool. I think he duplicates like raw. So the idea is I made this Hui on bench and I'll probably never sell it. It doesn't cost me any gold because it didn't cost me any gold to put him there in the first place. But I'm just going to hold it because I want to make sure that I don't have to worry about somebody else just hitting their 3-star 4 costs, that they can compete with me. The chances are I still win, obviously, because I just have more. But yeah, this was the main thing that I discovered, because I thought that you had to go 9 with this type of board. I thought it was like either really strong on like a reroll comp that was like a 3-cost reroll, or it was like insanely strong as a tool of going fast 9 and then having enough money to buy all the units that you want to upgrade. The truth of the matter is, with the reduced bag sizes and just in general, you could just roll on 8 forever. Like, look at this game. People are going like 9. I've had games where people are going 10 and they're just trying to get like the Giga Juicer board, and it's like, nah. It's like, nah. I'm just gonna sit here and roll to 0 and hit a bunch of 3-star 4 costs and just guarantee like a no chance way that I just win, right? So as you can see here, like before, the Annie was unkillable. The Annie's probably unkillable even without all the extra help. But yeah, now I have Morgana 3. I'm gonna have Lilia 3 in a turn. Ready? Ooh, there's a Lilia there. And there's a Sage Emblem Hui. Should probably grab the Hui. Yeah, ready? Lilia 3 as well. Yippee! How many am I at? I'm at 3. Soon my whole board's gonna be upgraded. I probably could hit Nautilus as well. Yep, now I hit Nautilus. Easy. Alright. Good luck. Is that a ridiculous board? Morgana 3, Lilia 3, Nautilus 3, Annie 3. Yeah, this guy just forfeit. GG. So, this is the augment. Everything must go. Just be prepared to see it more often. Be prepared to see it in your lobbies and understand how to play it. The basic game plan is that you want to be semi-stable. You don't want to spend any gold on rolling or anything like that early because you want to preserve as much you want to preserve as much money as possible to roll on 8. And then you don't even worry about going 9. That's the biggest bait, because those 80 shops or those 40 shops that you miss out by spending 80 gold to go 9, just forget about it. Just roll. If you're more stressed, you can roll a little bit earlier, or you can play greedy and use your HP as a resource in order to guarantee that you hit everything. But yeah, isn't that crazy? Annie 3, Lilia 3. I don't get it. Anyways, this will probably be removed entirely or greatly modified because Riot kind of knows they made a mistake. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Hopefully this was somewhat informative. I'm a little bit tired, so maybe the talk was a little bit choppy because I kept like yawning sometimes. But hopefully it was still really informative, and hopefully this is like on the cusp of like relevancy. Because I'm kind of doing this as a one-off video. I had a couple uploads ready for the rest of the week, but I just wanted to insert this one real fast today because I think it's worth addressing, because it's something you'll probably see, and if you haven't seen it, it's probably because people don't know about it, and you can be the one that knows about it and win your lobbies until they get rid of it. Anyways, see ya.